I don't even remember half of these freaking guys. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. The NBA draft is 2 weeks away, and I thought it'd be fun to take a look at the last 10 years and ask, where are they now in regards to our draft picks? Drop a comment down below. Any of these players that surprised you and really were heads and shoulders above what you thought they would be, or any players that were just a total disappointment. Hit the thumbs up, like, support the channel, and subscribe for more Spurs content. So yes, some of these more recent ones are obvious, but I'm going to do it anyway. First off, Joshua Primo, first overall 12th pick in 2021. Obviously still at the Spurs. He played 50 games last season. It's about 6 points per game, 19 minutes. He was a starter for a lot of games too after the Derek White trade. What's his ceiling? I don't know. A lot of players were upset when a lot of fans were upset when he was drafted because he didn't know who he was. Hopefully he continues to improve and ends up being a very solid starter or even an all-star for us someday. Up next, also in last year's draft, Joe Wieskamp, Joe Mama. He's still at the Spurs too, but had a very limited role with the team last year. He was a second-round pick, 41st overall. Played 29 games, only 7 minutes per game. I'm not sure what his future role with the Spurs will be. A sharpshooter off the bench, kind of a role player that fits into the 9th spot, maybe the 10th spot. Not sure. Time will tell, but with all the draft picks we have coming up, he's going to have to start showing he belongs on the roster. Up next, Devin Vassell, our first lottery pick in age, is first round, 11th overall in 2020. And Devin is obviously still with the Spurs. Played 71 games last year, was a starter for a good portion of the year, 24 minutes a game, 12 points per game. Really shown us that he is more than just the 3D player that a lot of folks thought he was coming out of college. Shown a great ability to finish at the rim, create his own shots. A lot of people think he may have one of the highest ceilings on the current San Antonio Spurs roster. So it'll be interesting to watch his growth over time. Trey Jones, still with the Spurs, second round, 41st overall pick as well, and has really played well as a backup for the San Antonio Spurs at point guard. A lot of you kind of still question whether he's the guy. He is small for today's NBA, and his three-point shot is abysmal. He did play in 69 games last season and averaged about 17 minutes as a solid backup. So if he's our backup point guard for infinity and beyond, hey, all in. And now here's where everything gets derailed. 2019, we spent a first-round pick, 19th overall, on Luka Salmonich. And where is he now? Looks like he's out of the NBA already. 2 frustrating years with the San Antonio Spurs. And then he got signed by the Knicks last season and didn't even play in one regular NBA game. He was in the G League, got hurt, and his career might already be over. No effort, a bust, and he turned out to be a sandwich overall. One of the bigger disappointments in recent memory for me with the San Antonio Spurs. That draft was saved, though, in the first round as we had another pick at 29, and we took Keldon Johnson, who is, of course, with the San Antonio Spurs. Just finished his third year here. He's been a starter at small forward or power forward for 2 years. Played 75 games last year. Turned into a very solid three-point shooter. One of the best on the team, shooting 40% from beyond the arc and a very solid 17 points per game. And I do think at one point he scored 20 points or more in 8 games in a row. He's still very young. Seems like the Spurs community is a little split on him, whether he's our permanent small forward or we should trade him in this upcoming draft. I like Keldon. It's openly known he's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player in the current Spurs roster. And I think could be a very, very solid small forward for the next decade. But we've been trying to play him out of position the last few years. I think we just need to get a legit power forward and let him play at small forward, and he'll excel much more there. And I do think he can average 20 points per game over the course of a season. And last but not least, also in the 2019 draft in the second round, 49th overall, we drafted Quinndary Witherspoon, a.k.a. Garbage Time Q on this channel. And where is he? He has a chance to win a ring with the Golden State Warriors, who are in the NBA Finals. So kudos to him. He did spend 2 years with the Spurs, only played 31 games, and one of the reasons he got the nickname Garbage Time Q is he generally played garbage time, but also, for those of you that don't remember, I haven't forgotten, my man fouled out in 10 minutes. That's all I got. Up next, Lonnie Walker. He was drafted first round, 18th overall. He is currently a Spur, but his contract is up. And right now, we don't know if he's going to get re-signed by the team. If they draft a guard in the upcoming draft, then likely he is gone. Lonnie Walker is an enigma, so much potential. Some people say he's been underutilized, but man, last year was really the big year to show us what he's got, and he kind of regressed for most of the year, except for when he had like a really hot 2.5, 3 week span, and just, He's had a lot of great moments. That big overtime comeback game against the Houston Rockets, highlight reel type of plays, big dunks, that dunk against the Pacers, that almost dunk layup against, I think, the Nuggets, where he had the whole Nuggets bench jumping up in the air. But do we bring him back? I don't know. I really, down here, don't think he's going to be a Spur next year unless we can get him on a team-friendly contract. This might be Lonnie's last days as a San Antonio Spur. Also in that draft, we drafted Chimezie Metu, 49th overall. He's with the Kings right now, Spurs fan, and he's actually playing pretty well. Last season, he scored 8.9 points per game, grabbed almost 6 rebounds. He was rarely used with the San Antonio Spurs, only played 47 games, averaged about 5 minutes. He's actually doing pretty well in Sacramento, and hey, I'm happy to see that. Speaking of doing well, in the 2017 draft, picked at number 29, and we've had some luck with the 29th pick, Derek White. And where is he? He also has a chance to win a ring in the NBA Finals as he is with the Boston Celtics. I'm so happy for him. Sad to see him go. Let's be honest, he was not going to be in the finals with the Spurs anytime soon. And here he is already in the finals with the Celtics. Say what you will about Derek White. He was a bust, never panned out, whatever. We have some great memories with Derek White. There was Bubble Derek a few years ago, Denver Nuggets Derek, but injuries and maybe not using him right in San Antonio really hurt him. What I mean by that is the Celtics are using him as off the bench. A lot of you said that's where he should be used in San Antonio. We tried to force him in as a starter next to Jaunty Marie in the last 2 seasons. That did just not work. So Derek White, good luck to you and Q over in the NBA Finals. Up next, Jaron Blossomgame. I forgot who this dude was. Draft 59th overall, right near the end of the 2017 draft. Right now, he's with Ratio Farm in Germany. Never played a game with the San Antonio Spurs. He did, however, play 27 games with the Cavaliers. So at least he got some NBA action, but never played a game with our team. Up next, our only pick from the 2016 draft, Jaunty Marie, who of course is with the San Antonio Spurs, just celebrated his first All-Star season, had a fantastic season last year statistically, 21 points per game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, led the NBA with 2 steals, far exceeded my expectations on what he could be with DeMar DeRozan leaving the San Antonio Spurs. The handcuffs you were say off, whatever is, tying him up from being able to just be unleashed, and he showed us so much in his game. I didn't think he would take that leap from the previous year to where he is now. Really should have been most improved player, Jaunty Marie. I know he has some doubters that don't think he should be the point guard for the San Antonio Spurs of the future. He's a ball hog, da-da-da. He's the best thing we got going right now. And anybody that's playing that well, I'm not going to knock him. Anybody that's trying to get our team victories. And not only that, I love what some of the things he said in his career, especially with the All-Star game, that he didn't make the All-Star team. The San Antonio Spurs did. He's got a Spursy attitude, and I just have loved to see his development of his game the last few years, pretty much since coming back from the torn ACL. So obviously that was probably the biggest home run on this list right now. 2015, we had 2 draft picks. In the first round, 26 overall, we took Nikola Molatinov. Where is he? Right now, he's with the Russian club at CSKA Moscow. Never played in the NBA. Swing and a miss. Up next, with the 55th overall pick that same year, Katie Lalanne. Now, that name may sound a little familiar. Right now, he's with San Pablo Burgos of the Liga ACB. Never played in the NBA. However, Spurs fans, he was part of that trade that brought us the GOAT for one day. Marquise Chris, greatest Spur of all time. Okay, maybe not. So, yeah, Katie Lalanne. We still had rights to him up until last year, even though he never played. We held on to his rights for over, 5 years? Whatever. Up next, you may recognize this player's name, Kyle Anderson. First round pick, 30th overall in 2014. He is still in the NBA, celebrating his 8th season, 4 years with the Memphis Grizzlies, where he currently is right now, and also played 4 years with the Spurs, and he's had a pretty solid career. 505 games, 21 minutes per game, 6.7 points per game. Slow-mo has carved out a nice little niche as a role player, so good on him. Also in that draft, we had 2 other players. Jordan Mcrae, well, where is he? He's still playing basketball. Metropolitan's 92 of the LNB Pro A. Okay. Never played a game with the San Antonio Spurs. However, he did spend 4 years in the NBA with 5 different teams. And actually, he scored 6.9 points per game and very respectable, around 14 minutes per game. So he was a scoring machine, if you will, when he was in there. His lifetime shooting percentage wasn't very good, just over 40%, but hey, whatever. And also, we drafted Corey Jefferson. Right now, he is in Atletico de San German in the Puerto Rican League, and he played 0 games with our San Antonio Spurs. However, he did play 2 years, 1 year with the Nets and 1 year with the Suns. Up next, 2013, we had 2 picks. Livio Jean Charles, and he currently right now is playing with Olympiacos and never played in the NBA. So first round pick, another one that never played in the NBA. We also drafted Deshaun Thomas that year, second round, 58th overall. Right now he's with Bayern Munich of the Basketball Bundesliga. Never played in the NBA. And the last one is I'm just doing 10 years here, 2021 to 2012. That's a 10-year span. We had Marcus Denman, 59th overall pick. What happened to our first round pick in 2012, Spurs fans? I don't remember. We trade? I'm guessing it had to have been part of the trade. Was that part of the Kawhi Leonard trade? No. Was it? I don't know. Anyway, Marcus, he right now is with Spor of the Turkish Basketball Super League and also has never played in the NBA. Corey Joseph, I'm not going over him. He is still in the NBA playing with the Detroit Pistons. So when we look over this, we talk a lot on my channel at how good the Spurs are at developing players. And I would say the last 6 years, I would agree with that. Keldon Johnson, Jaunty Marie, Derek White, and some other guys look like they could develop. But then there's this large gap. When you look at 2015 and before, tons of misses. Yeah, Kyle Anderson's still in the league. Corey Joseph is still in the league, but neither has hit an all-star. I don't think Corey Joseph made an all-star team. And then when you go even further back, I just kind of scratch my head at like, I've forgotten who a lot of these dudes are. Goran Dragic obviously had a very successful career in the NBA, but when we talk about just how brilliant the Spurs are at developing talent, Spurs fans, and I don't say this to be condescending, but do we overrate our team's own ability to produce talent? Because I do think we've done a very good job since 2016 with developing players, and I believe we'll still continue to do that. Well, then when you go before that, there's a lot of just duds in there. I mean, yeah, we had later picks, but we've already proven with these picks up here, Keldon Johnson, Derek White, and Jaunty Marie were all 29th picks and have all carved out very nice careers in the NBA. So we've shown you can get diamonds in the rough at the, late in the draft. But when you look in here, it's just a mess. But when you scroll down to here, then you get these just massive grand slams. Now, Tim Duncan, we all knew was going to be a great player. First overall pick. It's very rarely you miss on one of those players. But Manu Ginobili, 57th overall, and then Tony Parker drafted 28th. You have a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer right there. By drafting talent at that level late in the draft, have we maybe just kind of put our Spurs blinders on and just because we hit so well right there that we just think, yeah, the Spurs are like the greatest team ever at developing talent. Whereas maybe, yeah, we are good at developing talent. Maybe we just got a little lucky with those 2 picks. Maybe a little bit. We made the pick. We saw something there special, but maybe we got a little lucky. Maybe not. I hope that we continue the trend, though. I really think this last, we look at this 5-year span between Duncan and Parker's draft. Of course, you go here earlier, you have Sean Elliott, David Robinson, my favorite player, da-da-da. Anyway, we had a nice little run right here, and then really just a lot of misses, if I'm being honest. Some guys that lasted in the NBA, and then when you get up here, I think we've really turned things around. So as much as the front office gets criticized over the last few years with our drafting, and I do agree we've drafted too many guards, I think we've done a pretty good job. And if Devin Vassell, Joshua Primo eventually become all-stars one day in the next 2, 3, 4 years, that would show that the front office, as much as it's criticized right now, is heading in the right direction. And I like the direction we're heading. I was very surprised. Pat Phil, Pop in the front office, was so aggressive with their trading this season. Trading Derek White, which I thought wasn't going to happen. Getting something for Thaddeus Young. We have 4 picks right now coming up in the draft. I'm surprised we still have 4 picks coming up in the draft. Maybe we'll make one more move, some kind of shocking move. Maybe we'll do something crazy and make a play at the Houston Rockets' 3rd-round pick and trade a player away, maybe like a Keldon Johnson or a Devin Vassell, because I think that's what would it take to get them. We would have to trade one of our young. They're not trading the Jaunty Marie, but we're gonna have to trade one of those wings that are 6'5" ish. And I'd hate to see one of them go, but I also would get it if they did that, because if you can get one of those top 3 players in the draft, then it's pretty smooth sailing from there. So Spurs fans, would you want? I don't think it's really necessary to go further back in this. I just kind of want to do something different on the channel in regards to Spurs content. And I was like, you know what? With the draft coming up, how have we done the last 10 years? And from 2016 to 2021, I would give that probably an A minus. There's a few misses there. A couple of guys. I didn't remember who Jaron Blossom game is, to be honest with you, but there's a lot of guys still in the NBA. Two of those players are in the NBA Finals. Really, the biggest dud is Luka Salmonich, sandwich. And then for the previous years, from 2012 to 2015, yeah, I might give us like a D. I think that's a pretty rough patch for the San Antonio Spurs. Yes, they're all late picks, all ton of late picks. Doesn't matter. We've proven you can succeed with late picks. The late picks we've had at the 29 spot with the three players I already mentioned, and we already know with Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, you can get a good pick. I mean, come on. We've seen other sports. I hate to bring them up, but Tom Brady, was he sixth round, right? Russell Wilson, third round. So there's going to be those players, and we've done a good job, I think, picking them out. Hopefully in this upcoming draft, we can work that magic again. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Until next time, go Spurs, go!